yoga practice, and thank you for joining me. And if I don't know you already, my name is Lisa, so it's nice to practice with you. And as I was just saying, please just take this at your own pace, listen to your body, do things that feel good to you. So I might be guided. You can think of me as a guide, but really create your own journey with this. But let's just take a moment to arrive. So you can sit on your mat in any way that is comfortable. And rest your hands right in your lap, close your eyes, stacking shoulders over hips. Maybe draw the focus just to your breath. You don't have to do anything with your breath, but just observing it. This is just a great way we can start to come back into our body. And throughout the practice, really just trying to stay with body and breath. So anything that you may have to do after practice, I assure you will still be there. You don't need to think about it right now. And just really giving yourself the next 60 minutes just to be with body, spirit. Even bring your hands right to the heart. So you can put one palm right on top of the other, right at the heart. And just notice how your body the physiology may change just by having hands pressed at the heart. So this is sort of a universal mudra, and it sends signals to our nervous system that everything is okay. I'm going to start our practice just by an excerpt from Pixie Lighthorse, Prayers of Honoring. Allow the forces of nature and spirit guide us to what we want and help us learn the acceptance to receive exactly what we need. Pull us in and push us out. Agitate us gently to keep our cells turning over and the knowledge fresh. Brush off our accumulations and attachments at just the right time when something unknown is coming in. Show us how to walk in a meander, in a straight line, or even backward. Whichever serves our highest potential. Even a free fall can be medicinal at the right time. Find us tabling our resentment when it's time to step back and observe, assess, and replenish our reserves. Find us in a flow of love, even when we are silent or holding ourselves at a safe distance. Help us feel our way through this day, giving and receiving love from you and those who surround us in a beautiful ellipse of reciprocity. Show us how to balance the doing season with rest. Grant us permission to plug into the great source for much-needed rechargings. Let us give thanks and get our knees dirty, making offerings for grace. You can bring your palms together in Anjali Mudra. So this is a mudra represents devotion, reverence, respect. You take a moment to set an intention for your practice. So maybe this is a one-word intention. It could be joy, gratitude, generosity. But it's not just for your practice. It's something that you can take with you your whole day, going into your day. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Inhale, hands come high. And exhale, hands come to heart center. Do that again. Inhale, hands come high. And exhale, hands come to heart center. And take the right hand, cross it along the left knee. You can take a seated side twist to the left, keeping the spine long, chin away from the chest. And then the other side. And coming back to center, you can meet me in your tabletop. So in tabletop, shoulders over wrist, hips over knees. I'm just coming to mute the group, and I'll unmute you after practice, but just in case there's any background noise. So try to get your hands nice and flat, firmly pressed into the earth. We'll start to come into our cat-cows. Inhale, drop the belly, look up, that's your cow. And then exhale, arch the spine, drop the head. That's your cat. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. And exhale, arch the spine, drop the head. You can take some more now at your own pace. So just matching breath to movement here. Or maybe even keep your eyes closed. You're just still cultivating that sense of just turning inward, being with body and breath. You can listen for that rhythmic, oceanic-like quality of the breath. And if there's any other shapes or movements that would feel good for you, please take those right now as well too. So sometimes it can feel nice. I like to turn my fingers out to the sides or maybe even facing my knees, stretching out the forearms. And listening to your body. Maybe you're taking some big hip circles. We'll come back to our neutral table, so fingers come right out in front. You can extend the right leg back so it's parallel to the earth, keeping the hips square to the earth. Hands pressing down into your mat. And take an inhale here, then exhale, bringing knee to nose, and you have that cat-like spine. Rising back up, knee to nose, and coming back up, knee to nose, coming back up, holding it here. Now you can stay here with both hands pressed into the earth and reach the left arm forward, just like you're going to shake someone's hand. Chest and hips stay square to the earth, breathing here. So just starting to kind of wake up the core. If you're a little bit wobbly, that's okay. And take another inhale, gently bring knee and hand back down to the earth. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, arch the spine, drop the head, and then coming back to neutral. This time we'll extend the left leg out so it's parallel to the earth. Gaze is straight down. We can take an inhale here, exhale, knee to nose. Coming back up, knee to nose. Coming back up, knee to nose. Rising back up, holding it here, gaze is at the earth. Again, you can keep the hands at the earth or extend that right arm forward. And breathing here. And then hand and knee can come back to the earth. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, arch the spine, drop the head, and then coming back to neutral. So we're going to keep the hips over the knees here. You can take a couple steps forward with the arms, coming into our puppy pose. So you can rest the forehead right on the earth. And some people like to rest their chin on the earth, but you can just see how that feels. And breathing here. So this is a chest opener, so you can even imagine that your chest is sinking, like it has a heavy weight onto it, just trying to connect to the earth. Keeping the forearms pressed into the earth, shimmy the body back. We'll come into Sphinx. So Sphinx looks like maybe it's like a little kid watching television on the floor, but it's a lot more active than that. You'll have your shoulders over the elbows, forearms pressed into the earth. And you can almost imagine that the forearms are reaching back to your ribs. So this is also a chest opener. Gaze is straight ahead. And breathing here. And you can come back down to the earth. We're going to make a little pillow with our hands. We're just going to come into just some early belly back bend, starting to strengthen the back. Again, just take it at your own pace, but creating a little pillow with your hands, you can rest your forehead right on your hands. And lift the upper body and lower body up, keeping the forehead connected to our hands, the backs of the hands, breathing here. And it's not a matter about how high you're going, it's really about length. So if your feet are going in one direction, crown of the head is in the other. And then coming back down to the earth. We'll take a moment to reset here. And then when you're ready, rise up again. And coming back down. And taking a moment to reset. We just have one more to do. Your back will thank you, building strength. And when you're ready, rise up again. And coming back down to the earth. You can bend the knees here, windshield wiper the feet back and forth. And then let the legs go long back on the earth. Bring the arms wide, so they might even come off the edges of the mat, your goal posting your arms. Shoelace side of the feet, press into the earth. Inhale, come up into your wide cobra. Breathing here. You can drop the right shoulder, looking over the left. Rising back up. Dropping the left, looking over the right. Coming back up, we'll take one more on each side. So dropping the right, looking over the left. Coming back up. Dropping the left, looking over the right. Rising back up, holding here. And then coming back down to the earth. Hands can come underneath shoulders. You can push yourself up through tabletop. Open the knees wide. Sit back here for child's pose. Breathing here. Forehead can just rest right on the earth. Start to walk the hands to the right. You can lift up the forehead, stretching out the left side of the body. Coming back through center. Walk the hands over to the left, stretching out the right. And coming back through center. Put the palms together, prayer hands. Bend the elbows, bringing the hands to the nape of the neck. Remember, child's pose is available to you at any point. So even if I don't cue it, and even if we're standing up, if you feel like you need child's pose, please take it. Remember, there's probably one point in my practice years ago where I'd always try to avoid coming into child's pose. But now, I could almost do child's pose for the full hour and feel good about it. Hands can come back down to the earth. Make your way back to your tabletop. Curl the toes under, lift the knees just to hover. So this is your hovering table. That belly button's coming back up towards the spine. And hands are pressing firmly into the earth. You can step the feet back, coming into your high plank. Shoulders over wrist here. Core is engaged. Hips are slightly lifted, so you can almost think of them about the same plane as the shoulders. Take an inhale here. Exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. So first downward facing dog of the practice. Then you take a moment here. Start to pedal out the feet. Maybe wake up the calves and the hamstrings. Hands are still pressed firmly into the earth. In a downward facing dog, your heels may never get to the earth, and that's okay. But then finding some stillness, add a little bit of a bend in your knees, and that will help to lengthen the spine as the head hangs right between the biceps. And breathing here. Again, you can listen to that sound of your breath, that rhythmic sound, and finding some ease in that. Go high on the tiptoes, bend the knees to lengthen, then you can walk to the front of your mat. We'll meet in ragdoll forward fold, feet hips width apart, opposite hand to opposite elbow. You can bend the knees here, almost creating a little shelf for your belly, so it's less of a hamstring stretch, but more of an opportunity to lengthen the spine. And the head can just hang heavy. With the feet rooted into the earth, you can sway a little bit back and forth. And really let the head drop. So I feel like sometimes, we try to hold the head up, we're looking at the earth. If anything, you should be looking at the wall behind you. We just try to do a little bit more, and I would even encourage you throughout this practice, instead of trying to power through the postures, see if you can find ease in the postures. Sometimes we think the more strength, the more force, the better. See if you can kind of be more like water, rolling into the postures, finding that sense of ease, even when they seem challenging. Really, that's the practice for life, is too. Just finding the ease in the situation. Maybe not forcing so much, so hard. Then you can release the hands to the earth. Inhale, bend the knees, lengthen the spine. So maybe the hands come to the shins, shoulder blades come back, just like you are trying to squeeze a pencil in your shoulder blades. Torso is parallel to the earth. Reach the arms forward, just like you're going to pass somebody a nice gift of some sort, a nice wrapped gift. Feet root into the earth, rise right up to standing. You're in your extended Tadasana. Keeping the hips squared forward, we'll take a high twist to the right. Coming back up. High twist to the left. Coming back up. Take those goddess arms. Feet root into the earth. Inhale, look up, opening up the heart space, the throat. And then bringing hands right to heart center. Inhale, hands come high. And then exhale, we'll bend the knees, forward fold. Inhale, bend the knees, lengthen the spine, shoulder blades come back. You can plant the hands to the earth, left foot steps back. Drop the left knee to the earth, hands come high to the sky, low lunge. And breathing here. And drop right into that front leg. And just making sure there's no pain on the knees. Left hand can come to the earth, twist to the right. We'll take a big backstroke with our right arms, just loosening up the shoulders, going all the way around, just like you are painting a big circle on the right wall. And then right hand can connect back to the earth, curl the back toes under. Right foot steps back, downward facing dog. Again, just a reminder, keeping a little bend in the knees. I feel like that was a yoga game changer for me when I learned that. So instead of always having the downward facing dog with the straight legs, keep a little bit of a bend. Then glide forward, coming into your high plank. So shoulders over wrist, core is engaged. And remember, you can always come down to your knees in high plank. You're still building strength. So check in with your body, see what feels good to you, and then make skillful decisions. And that's really the practice of yoga, the practice of life. Checking in, seeing what feels good, and making wise decisions. You go forward on your tiptoes if the knees are lifted. We're going to come all the way down to the earth in a low push-up. So come down slowly though. We'll count to 5. And again, drop the knees if you feel that would serve you. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, coming up through cobra. Exhale, coming back down. Curl the toes under. You can engage the core, pushing up through high plank, or come up through tabletop. Curl the toes under, and we'll all meet in downward facing dog. And breathing here. Extend the right leg high, 3-legged dog on the right. So the hands pressed firmly into your mat, reaching that back heel back, almost like you feel that line of energy all the way from the palms of the hands to your back heel. Take an inhale here, exhale and glide forward, bringing knee to nose. So you're hovering plank. And then coming back up again. Knee to nose. Rising up again. Knee to nose. Holding it here. We'll step the right foot forward, coming into our runner's lunge. So if you have the blocks or cans of foods or toilet paper, you might want to use them here to bring the earth a little bit closer. But knees over ankle, and you're on the ball of your back foot. And breathing here. And drop the back knee to the earth. Straighten out the front leg. We'll come into our half split. Now, take it easy here. So, still early in the morning, and I can feel my hamstrings are pretty tight, so using the blocks. You don't have to go down far. You really can think of lengthening the spine, slightly hinging at the hips, just so you feel a light stretch along the hamstrings. You can start to walk the hands forward. Come back into your runner's lunge. Curling the back toes under, lifting the back legs. Left foot will come to meet the right. Hips drop low. Come into our downhill skier. Elbows come back by ribs. So it's kind of like an Utkatasana, but instead of our arms reaching up, you're just going to come back. So just like you were skiing down a hill, hence the name. Feet root into the earth. Hips are low. Spine is long. Take an inhale here. Exhale, arms sweep back. And then leg strength will bring you right up to standing. Inhale, hands come high. And then exhale, hands come to heart center. One more time. Inhale, hands come high. Exhale, bend the knees. Forward fold. Inhale, bend the knees. Lengthen the spine. Shoulder blades come back. So taking the time to bring the shoulder blades back. Keeping that long spine, you can plant the hands. Step the right foot back. Drop the right knee to the earth. Hands come high to the sky, low lunge. And breathing here. Right hand can connect to the earth. We'll twist to the left. Low lunge twist. We'll take a big backstroke coming all the way around, creating that big circle with our left hand. And then left hand can come back to the earth. You'll curl the back toes under, step back, downward facing dog. And breathing here. And glide forward, coming back into your high plank. Shoulders over wrists, core engaged. You're dropping the knees if you would like to. And we'll come all the way down to the earth on a count of 5, keeping those elbows close to the torso. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, pushing up through cobra. And exhale, coming back down. Curling the toes, you can come up through high plank or tabletop. And then lifting the hips, we meet back, downward facing dog. And breathing here. Left leg reaches high, three-legged dog on the left. And so keeping the shoulders, the hips squared to the earth, hands are pressed firmly into your mat. And take an inhale here, exhale, glide forward, knee to nose. Kind of that cat-like spine here. And the knee doesn't really get to the nose, just trending in that direction. Rising back up, knee to nose. Coming back up, knee to nose. Holding here, and then stepping that left foot forward, runner's lunge on the left. Again, you can use the blocks here. From the ball of your back foot, knee is over ankle. Then you drop the back knee to the earth. Straighten out that front leg, coming into your half split. Inhale to lengthen, exhale just hinging forward just slightly, not pushing anything. You can walk the hands forward, curl the back toes under, back to your runner's lunge. Right foot comes to meet the left. We're coming to our downhill skier. So feet can be about hips width apart, rooted firmly onto the earth, elbows by ribs, spine is long. Taking an inhale here, exhale, arms sweep back, but this time keep the hips low. Just reach the arms forward and you're in your Utkatasana chair pose. So you're trying to keep the spine long, hips low. You can take a little peek at your toes and just make sure you can see them so the knees aren't over the toes, and if you can't, just try to sit back a little bit more. But feeling grounded and supported, I think this is a great posture. Like, thinking that the earth is supporting you, feeling how strong you are, and breathing here. I'm going to take one more inhale here, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend the knees, lengthen the spine. Then you'll plant the hands, step back to your high plank. Engaging the core. This time we're going to come halfway down, low push-up. Again, you can be on your knees to do this. We'll push up to our upward facing dog. So shoulders over wrist, chest coming through shoulders, gaze straight ahead. And taking an inhale here, exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Big inhale here, sigh it out on the exhale. Maybe you take a moment now, think back to the intention that you set at the beginning of practice. And just see if you can remember it. And if not, that's okay too. You could set a new intention. And remember, approaching the poses with that. So whatever that means to you. Maybe you're being generous with yourself as you start to ease into some of these standing postures that we're about to do. And just not force anything. Right leg comes high, three-legged dog on the right. Right foot's going to step forward, back foot dials back. We'll root down to rise up, warrior one. So in warrior one, both feet are pressed firmly on the earth. That back foot's at about 45 degrees, and hips are squared forward. If you're having trouble squaring the hips forward, maybe widen your stance a little bit so it's more like train tracks than a tightrope. And you're really putting a lot of weight and energy into that back foot because that's what's keeping the hips squared. And breathing here. And bring your hands to heart center. And then open up, warrior two. So warrior two is a wider stance than warrior one. So you will have to open up your legs a little bit wider. But you've got heel to instep alignment, knee is over ankle, arms are parallel, gaze is straight ahead. This is one of our power postures, where we got both feet on the ground, we're taking up space. So see how that feels. Invoke maybe just some confidence, some power. And flip the front palm. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Now we'll come into side angle. So right forearm can just tap onto that right thigh. Back foot is still pressed firmly down. That top hand can reach right above the head. Or maybe you want to reach it forward or wrap it behind. But you can get your full expression of your side angle. But you remember to breathe. Really, it's a breathing practice, this yoga thing. We think it's a physical practice, but it's remembering to breathe throughout all of these postures. So the feet are rooted into the earth, and that's giving you the ability to, you can imagine the chest is corkscrewing to the sky. the feet rooted into the earth. Keep those warrior two legs. Come right back, warrior two. I know the leg's probably starting to feel it a little bit right now. Muscle. Flip the front palm, reverse your warrior, and then you can straighten that front leg. Toe heel the back foot up a little bit. We'll set up for our Trigonosaur, or triangle pose now on the right. So arms come parallel to the earth. You can reach forward, and then right hand comes to the shin or block, hips open towards the left. And breathing here. Core strength can bring you right back up. We're going to pivot to the left. Toes come out to 10 and 2. Hands to heart center. Sit down in your goddess pose. So feet root to the earth. Shoulders stacked over hips. And breathing here. If you feel like you want to add a little more power to your pose, you goal post your arms. Feeling the feet connect to the earth, bringing the hips a little bit lower. Remembering to breathe. You can also bring the corners of your mouth up into a smile. In ancient yoga practices that has great results and abilities. I feel like we instantly feel better once we smile. Now we'll come back to our warrior two. So pivoting right back to the front. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And then exhale, hands windmill back down to the earth. You can step back to your high plank. Or you can come into your low push-up and upward facing dog if you want, but maybe just choose to come right back downward facing. And we'll all meet in our downward facing dog. Left leg comes high, three-legged dog on the left. Left foot steps forward, back foot dials back, rise up, warrior one. So we're back in our warrior one on the left, hips are squared, feet pressing firmly into the earth, breathing. Bring your hands to heart center, and then open up, warrior two. So widening your stance. You guys stay where you are. I'm just going to turn my direction so you're not looking at the back of me. We are all in our warrior two on the left. And in warrior two, you can almost imagine that left knee is tracking to the upper left corner of the mat, so you're grounded but opening. You can flip the front palm, inhale, reverse your warrior. And then on an exhale, left forearm to left thigh coming into your side angle. So that left forearm is just resting on the left thigh. So you can think of it kind of resting, but not collapsing. And we'll be here for a couple of breaths. So you can think of what you want to do with that top arm, getting into your full expression of your side angle, whatever that means to you. But feet are rooted, chest is corkscrewing, and you remember to breathe. And with the feet rooted into the earth, you can rise back up, warrior two. We'll hold here just for a beat. Reverse your warrior, and then straighten out that front leg. Toe heel the back foot up a little bit. We'll set up for our Trigonosaur now on the left. Arms are parallel. Reaching forward to that right hip goes back. Left hand to a shin or a block, hips open to the right. And core strength brings you right back up. We're going to pivot to the right, coming into our 5-pointed star. And then you can bring your hands to the hips. Toes will go slightly inward, so slightly pigeon-toed. Inhale, look up, opening up the heart space. And we're going to come into our forward fold. I'm going to turn so you can see how we're going to do this. You're going to start to bend the knees. We're going to come in with our flat back. So hands can come right underneath shoulders. So really bend the knees quite a bit. So you're just thinking of lengthening the spine. So sacrum is in one direction, crown of the head is in the other. And maybe even just stay here, focusing on just lengthening the spine. But if you want to come into that full expression of your forward fold, you can start to straighten the legs, hinge at the hips, let the head hang heavy. I always think it's, I remember my teacher telling me, it's not a matter of how low you can get your head, really think about how high you can get your hips. And breathing here. And then hands can come underneath shoulders. We're going to get up the same way we got down. So you can bend the knees to lengthen, bringing the hands to hip, keeping that flat back to start to straighten the legs as you come right up to standing. And then we'll pivot to the left, come back to your warrior two. Reverse your warrior, and then hands can windmill back down to the earth. You can step back to your plank, going through your low push-up, upward facing dog, or come right back, downward facing dog. You're choosing postures and movements that are calling to your body today. Then you go high on the tiptoes, bend the knees, walk to the front of your mat. We'll meet in our forward fold. With the feet rooted into the earth, gently start rising up to standing, curling the spine one vertebrae at a time. So coming up really, really slowly, just like a yoga zombie. And palms can be outstretched. We're in our Tadasana. We'll place the weight into our right foot and we'll come into tree. So that left foot can come anywhere on the right leg except for the knee. We don't want it to come on the knee. Hands can come to heart center. And breathing here. Maybe you find something to gaze at, your drishti. You can keep the hands at heart center, or maybe you grow your tree. And bringing hands back to heart center. Bring that left knee right out in front of you, so one-legged Tadasana. Grab the outside of the left knee with the right hand, and we're going to twist to the left. This is our dancing Shiva, so one-legged standing side twist. And if this doesn't feel great, then you don't do it. Maybe you just put both feet on the earth and do a standing twist. Coming back through center, hands at heart center, release the left foot back to the earth, and you can shake it out a little bit. We'll plant the left foot on the earth, and we'll take it on the other side. So sole of the right foot can come anywhere on the left leg, hands at heart center. You can grow your tree here if you want to grow your tree. And it's okay if you're a little wobbly. Remember, trees wobble. They go back and forth in the wind. We can do that too. And bringing hands back to heart center. Right knee comes out in front. Grab the outside of the right knee with the left hand. We'll twist to the right, dancing Shiva. And coming back to center, hands at heart center. Release the right foot back down to the earth. Maybe take a moment here, feet pressed into the earth, hands at heart center. Maybe you close your eyes here. And just taking a moment, and just feeling all of the muscles just activating, even just to keep you in the standing posture. You can take a moment just to feel grateful to have the strength, the ability to be here in this practice today. open your eyes. Inhale, hands come high. Exhale, bend the knees, forward fold. Inhale, bend the knees, lengthen the spine. Then you can plant the hands and step back to your high plank. You can go through your low push-up, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. And breathing here. And glide forward, coming into your high plank. You can bring the knees down to the earth. You're in your tabletop. Crossing the ankle, gently make your way onto your back. So however you want to get to your back. And you can bring your feet about hips width apart and see if you can graze your heels with your fingertips. So we're going to take 2 bridge poses. And if you have a block and you want to put it the flattest way underneath your sacrum, you could do that too. But to start, we'll take our backs of our arms, press them into the earth, and lift the hips up. And breathing here. And then you can bring the hips gently back down to the earth. We'll take a moment to reset. We're just going to do 1 more bridge. So you can keep it with the backs of the arms pressed into the earth, but if it feels okay, you might want to interlace your hands behind the lower back and kind of open up the chest. So when you're ready, you can rise up again. And then coming back down to the earth. You can bring the feet wide to the edges of the mat, knees knock in, knock knee pose. This is just a nice counter posture for the back bending. It helps to kind of restabilize the back. And you bring the soles of the feet together, knees open wide, Supta Baddha Konasana. If you have blocks or pillows, you might even want to try placing them underneath the thighs or knees and make it supported. I think this can feel really nice. You can have 1 hand on the belly, 1 hand on the heart. And just noticing the belly rise and fall with each inhale and exhale. Maybe you can feel your heartbeat. All of these processes working together really keep you healthy and strong. You don't need to think it through. It does it all on its own. And give the knees a hug in. Rock a little from side to side. And we'll come into our reclining figure 4. So you can take your right ankle, place it in front of your left knee. So maybe you grab behind the left thigh. But if you want something more restorative, you can place that left foot on a wall or maybe just place it on the earth. One of the good things about doing our practice at home since COVID is we do have access to more props and we can put things against the walls or couches. So really making it your own practice. And choosing the postures that feel good. end the practice today with a loving kindness meditation. That's a meditation that helps us to cultivate both kindness, compassion, empathy for ourselves, for others, really for all sentient beings. So I'll guide you through that at the end, and you are welcome to continue lying down. If you have a pillow, you could get comfortable. If you prefer to meditate sitting up, you could do that as well. I'm going to sit up because it's easier for me to talk while sitting than lying down, but you have some options. And when you're ready, you can switch sides. We can release the left ankle. Come into a gentle inversion. So you can, if you have a block, you might want to place it the flattest way underneath the sacrum, or you could just place your hands underneath your hips, and that can feel nice as well. You could also bring your legs up to a wall or to the couch. Maybe you even want to stay in gentle inversion for the rest of the practice, but it's really up to you. I don't give you all these choices to confuse you, but really so you can kind of think about how you're feeling and what you feel like doing. Bring the feet back down to the earth, or you could stay in that inversion. We'll grab the inside edges of the feet, rocking a little from side to side. Happy baby. Give the knees a hug in. Arms can open wide, anchoring you to the earth. You can drop the knees to the left as you gaze to the right. And it's okay if your knees don't get all the way down to the earth. Maybe you can place a block or a pillow underneath them. It's more important for your upper body to stay intact. I'll take it to the other side. Knees can drop to the right as you gaze to the left. And coming back to center, give your knees a hug in. And then you can release the legs long on the earth. And maybe you take up some space. Palms can face the sky. But get as comfortable. So we're going to start to ease into the meditation. So however you would like to do that, but just get comfortable, whatever would work for you. So I'll give you a moment to adjust. Maybe you scan the body and see if there's any places that are tight or holding tension. And just offering a little bit more ease, seeing if you can release, let go. And then bring to mind someone for whom it is easy for you to love. It's not a complicated relationship. It could be a child, a pet, a parent, but just someone who's it's easy for you to love. You can picture that person, or maybe it's an animal, right in your mind's eye. And picture that person happy and smiling. Maybe they're doing something that they really love to do. And noticing how you feel, because you really do want them to be happy. If you could clear away all the roadblocks for them, if they could live with a little more ease, you would do that. Just noticing how that shows up in your body. And we're going to offer this person a blessing. And so you can either repeat after me, or you just say it silently to yourself. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. And may you live with ease. I'm really feeling you do want all of these things for this very special person. Next, call to mind a more neutral person. So it's someone for whom you have neither positive nor negative feelings for. And sometimes we can overthink who this person should be. Whoever came to mind, just use that. That's your person. And since we know that all sentient beings are equal, and we all have the right and desire for happiness, we're going to wish this person the same blessings. But first, you can picture this person in your mind's eye, picturing them happy and at ease. Knowing that they probably want the same things as you. You want to feel that they have a meaningful life. They want their family safe. And they value their health. Seeing how it feels to really want this neutral person to be happy. And we'll offer them that same blessing. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. And may you live with ease. Next, we're going to offer those same blessings to the entire world. So to all sentient beings, and you can include yourself here as well. So however you want to visualize that, then you can start smaller. Maybe it's with your family or your community. But knowing that we really want all sentient beings to be free from suffering and to have a happy, meaningful existence. So just taking a moment, trying to visualize that. And we'll send out our blessings to the entire world. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. And may you live with ease. And just noticing how that feels in your body. Just sending out this goodwill, this love, this compassion. And we'll rest in this state just for another few moments. lying down, you can start to bring some consciousness back, maybe start to wiggle the toes and the fingers. You can gently start to roll over to your left or right side. I'll just spend a moment in the fetal position. You can start to make your way up to a comfortable seat. And we'll meet with our hands at heart center. So again, that universal display of respect, devotion, gratitude. And keep your eyes closed, or you can gaze softly at your fingertips. And with this mudra, that will offer that same blessing to one another. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. And may you live with ease. Namaste.